As you know, there's been a lot of discussions going on about the Board of Education budget and how we can move forward with some of the programs that the public was concerned would be cut. There was a meeting last Tuesday night, and those of you who were there know that the public came out in large numbers and expressed their concerns about what was being cut from the budget that they felt was very important for the development of their children. And I want you to know that we heard. We listened to what they said, and we felt very strongly that what they said was something we wanted to work on. So for the past couple of days, Senator Duff and I and others that are here have been working on how we can move forward and what kinds of funding might be available and how that funding might become available. So what we did was we ended up coming up with an offer of $6 million additional to the Board of Education, to the Norwalk Public Schools. But we had some conditions that we wanted to see met because, as you know, in the state of Connecticut, that when the Board of Education is given money, or they can spend it pretty much any way they want. But we wanted to make sure that the money would be spent in the direction that we had felt the parents had indicated it was critical to them. So this morning, and we can go over some of the things that we talked about, but again, the bottom line was $6 million in addition to the more than $9 million that we gave them originally in their budget. So in total, it would be an increase of over $15 million in the Board of Education budget.
You know, what we saw last week were over 700 parents, maybe close to 1,000 parents who came out to rally for programs in the public school system that they want. They want for their kids. They want arts and music. They don't want to lose some of their teachers. They don't want to lose some of the people in the school who matter the most to our students in Norwalk. And frankly, I've said that this is a manufactured crisis because of the fact that back in January, when we knew that we were going to have some budget challenges, I said to the superintendent, trust the process. Trust the process. That I'd be working to get additional funding for Norwalk, that the delegation was behind those efforts, that we would all be working together to vote out a budget that would hopefully provide additional funds. And repeated that again in March, that we were still on track to do that. And continuing to the last last Monday, the House voted on a budget. Tuesday, the Senate took it up, and it included an additional almost $1 million of education cost sharing. And it included $10 million of municipal aid for the city of Norwalk, above and beyond what they already get. And I spoke to the mayor, and we agreed that we would talk about that funding in order to make sure that we didn't lose music and arts teachers, we did not lose other vital services to the public schools. And so unfortunately, there was still this meeting last week that generated just so much stress, so much stress on parents, so much stress on teachers, administrators, and so much stress on students, because student after student talked about how they value, especially their music teachers, our arts teachers, and we're talking about performing arts and visual arts, all those kinds of things. And so we all are Norwalkers. We all want to make sure our schools succeed. And so we had to come to the table. We wanted to offer solutions. And so the solutions were it's for $3 million of additional state funding, $3 million of additional city funding. We're asking the public schools to cut a little bit more from their budget from a standpoint of not cutting things that are not student facing, because student facing, that's what we heard time and time again last week, was don't cut student facing programs. And so when we met with the superintendent today, and the mayor alluded to this, we set out a certain number of conditions that we would like for the board to accept with the additional funding as well. And the mayor said, how much did you say they received the 4% increase in your budget?
4% originally, and with these funds, it would be an additional 3%, somewhere around that area. But the total would be over $15 million above and beyond what their budget was in the current fiscal year.
So I can pretty much say, and I'd have to check this for sure, but I can pretty much say that there's probably no school district in the state of Connecticut getting a $15 million